I know that, but they can't hear that. How are they supposed to know? Oh, hi! Welcome back! Thank you for joining me today. Today, I am going to show you another new drum. And a drum, once again, is part of the percussion family. Now, I don't just talk to drums for fun. Well, maybe I do sometimes. But this one is actually called the talking drum, and I'm going to show you why it is called the talking drum today. So first of all, let me tell you a little bit about the shape. This drum is actually an hourglass shape, so I'm going to show you that right now. If you look over here, it's kind of got an hourglass shape. It kind of divots in the middle and comes back out. So that's one kind of unique thing about this talking drum. It's from West Africa, and another unique thing about this drum is the fact that it's got two drum heads. I'm actually going to put my mallet down for a second. It's got two drum heads. So normally when you see a drum, you see one drum head and then an empty or hollow base. But this one has got one drum head here, and if I turn it around, it's got another drum head right there. Pretty fancy, hey? It's also got a lot of string and cord wrapped around it, and you're going to see why that's important in just a little bit. It's important because it actually changes the pitch. Normally when you have a drum, you hit it and you get that same sound over and over and over again, but this one does something a little bit differently, and the pitch can be regulated or mimic the tone of the voice of the human speech based purely on what I do with these chords. Now, what's also interesting is the mallet that we use. This mallet is actually made out of wood. Normally, if you see me play, I play mallets with kind of like a rubber tip, but this is just a wooden mallet, and it's got a very just hard sound to it, and you'll see why in a bit, but it needs to be, and I'll explain why. Why would someone make an instrument like this? Why on earth would we make a two-sided instrument that can change the sound? Well, believe it or not, it's used for communication. People would use this drum to communicate over long distances. And actually, they would use this to communicate things like there's a ceremony coming up, or you know what, there's an attack incoming. You better be ready for it. It's faster than riding a horse. Why would this be faster? Because they communicate using pauses, stops and starts, and different tones to indicate or mean different things, but they can hear it up to 4 to 5 miles away, which is a really, really far distance. You can easily hear that 4 to 5 miles away versus someone riding on a horse trying to say the same thing. So that's why they would use something like this. Mind you, with words, you can actually say exactly what you're looking at, but I mean, if you need to say something in a hurry and you know what the sounds mean, then you would use this. Let's see here. What else can I tell you about this thing? There are similar drums to this found in Asia, believe it or not. In Asia, there is something called the idika. Now, it is much smaller than this, but it's a similar idea to this. It's a smaller instrument. It's also got two heads, and it changes the sound. You're going to hear that in a minute. The high sounds are created when I have tight tension, when I create tight, like push on it tightly, and when I loosen my grip on it, it has lower pitches. The lower pitches are generally associated with a male voice because they have a low pitch, and the higher pitches are generally associated with a female voice because they have higher pitches. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure, but that's one of the fun facts I've learned that I'm sharing with you. So let's hear this thing, the talking drum. Now, it doesn't actually say words like what you and I would say, but you're going to hear how it has different tones to it. So here we go, the talking drum. Now, if you use your imagination, you can hear a bit of a scale. I'm going to try to play it. I'm not very good at getting a scale, but you can kind of hear all the different pitches and frequencies in between. So here we go. Not a perfect scale, but you can kind of hear where that's coming into. And once again, if you're watching my arm, when I want to get those higher pitches, I tighten my grip here on the chords, and that's what makes it get a high sound. And then when I want to lower the pitch, I just loosen. So there you have it, the talking drum. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for coming. Stay safe, everyone. Goodbye.